Weapons. The landscape here is the stuff of picture postcards. The water is pure, the air unpolluted. New Zealanders want to protect their environment. They don't believe the way to do that is with nuclear arms, theirs or anybody else's.
1, 2, 3, 4. We are one nuclear war.
This conviction led to protests against United States ships coming here. Eventually, it led to the Prime Minister, David Lange, officially telling the United States to keep their military vessels out of New Zealand ports if they were carrying nuclear weapons.
The people of New Zealand believe they have something special here, something that doesn't exist elsewhere, that they need to protect by preventing the presence of nuclear weapons.
Yeah, their lives, basically. They don't particularly want to evaporate.
A tiny nation about the size of Colorado, way down near the end of the world. 2 islands full of sheep, 70 million sheep, and only 3 million people. So what if they don't want American nuclear protection? Could this really matter to the U.S. government? American Ambassador to New Zealand, Paul Cleveland.
We lost an ally in a real sense. We lost the closeness of the cooperation that we had in military, security, and intelligence with New Zealand. In a broader sense, I think that we have lost some credibility in our deterrence worldwide.
David Lange, a full-time prime minister who's a part-time race car driver. He says New Zealand doesn't want to weaken the alliance. He's only trying to steer his country on a safer course in the arms race.
New Zealand elected, quite simply, not to unilaterally arm. That's what New Zealand has done. New Zealand has said, we don't want to be under the nuclear umbrella and we're not going to hold its handle.
Is what you're doing, is that doing anything to eliminate the threat of nuclear war?
New Zealand's policy, while very much a New Zealand conviction, has not caused the arsenal of weapons with nuclear ability to be reduced by 1. And there is the irony of it all.
So what good has this done?
It has provided a focus for New Zealanders to see themselves as people entitled to a worldview from a New Zealand perspective. It has, I think, matured New Zealand in its relationships with other countries. We are not seen as some inevitable stooge of other powers.
That may be too much independence for some. The farmers are the first to see the need for close alliances. They need trading partners to buy a lot of that 70 million sheep worth of wool. Sam Soper, for one, worries about the economic repercussions of saying no to the United States.
We appreciate America as being our allies in the past, and we feel that we can't keep out. If America wants to bring nuclear ships to this country, I don't feel we can say, no, you can't.
If we move across to your wife, do we move across to a whole different outlook?
Yes, you do. I'm very opposed to nuclear anything. Especially as a mother, I grew up in a clean, green, nuclear-free New Zealand, and I want my children to have the opportunity to grow up in the same kind of clean, nuclear-free country that I grew up in.
The divided opinion in the Soper family represents mixed feelings across the country. The people are sure they don't want nuclear weapons, but many didn't realize keeping United States ships out of their ports would mean the end of ANZUS, a 35-year-old military treaty linking New Zealand, Australia, and America. New Zealanders seem to be betting they can have their cake and eat it too. Deep down, they believe if war were to come, the United States would be there to help. Prime Minister Lange, however, insists even then he would only want non-nuclear assistance.
The simple fact is that there is only one thing, I suppose, worse than being killed by the nuclear weapon of your enemy, and that is being killed by the nuclear weapon of your friend.